What's up? Welcome back to Shroud Stories. Today we're going to be doing something a little different, actually. I was actually sitting out here cleaning off my boards. I just got back from a trip. I just got married, actually, out in an undisclosed location because it also is a location of very firing waves. But I was sitting here thinking, like, dang, I wish I had some footage to, like, put up a shroud for everybody and, like, you know, have something for Monday, right? It's Monday today, so I wanted to get something out, and I have no footage. I just got home at like 5 this morning, and you know, it's kind of a grind. Late night layover. We went for a little honeymoon too while we were out there. So I'm sitting here cleaning off my boards, the boards that I just brought with me, and I was like, why don't I just film a little chat while I'm de-waxing these boards? But maybe it's something you guys will like, maybe it's something you won't, but can't hurt to try, right? So let's dive right into it. I wanted to jump on here and chat about these boards that I was riding. So I'll tell you one thing, one little clue to where I was. I was in Hawaii at one of the islands, right? Maybe it was Oahu, maybe it was Maui, it could have been anywhere, but it was firing. And I've came to notice in this specific place that shortboards work great anywhere you go. They're fun, they're fast, they're loose. You can do high performance turns and get barreled and all that stuff, right? But what I thought was kind of interesting was when you ride a fishy board like this, it's a little 5'2" teal fin fish. You can do the exact same thing, maybe not quite on the same size waves, but you're still gonna drop in and get barreled, and you're still gonna do turns. You just gotta do it in different places at different times, and you know, use the board in your favor. And I'll tell you one thing, you're gonna be going a hell of a lot faster than you'll ever go on a shortboard thruster. It's pretty impressive, actually. But you know, that's why I was riding this fish most of the time, right? It's a little 5'2" Asher Pacey inspired fish, and I've been loving it here at home in California, on trips all over the place. And you know, it's a tricky one to travel with because of the glass in fins, right? But what I did was I got this big block of foam. I have it over there. I'm unpacking my bag, but this big block of foam, or it was multiple pieces of foam from like something that shipped to my house, like a box or something that had styrofoam in it. And I cut them up, glued them together in a stack that was about this big, and then I used a screwdriver and stabbed it a bunch of times right where the fins would go, so that the fins will slide into these little slots and the foam goes all the way to flat on the surfboard. So when the board is in the bag, it's getting pressure on the foam that's hitting the foam of the surfboard, not the fin. So it's not gonna break. It's the best thing that I can figure out, honestly, but it works pretty well. So far, so good, right? So this thing's been a fun one. I got some dings on it. You know, these little guys right here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna throw, I don't have any cloth and resin. Normally I do it like the right way, but I don't have any cloth and resin here, so I was thinking I might just throw some solar res in it. Should be chill, right? That's not that bad. It's kind of like cracked up here too, though. Oh, it's all de-lambed. That's probably a bad idea. Can you see that? It's like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but that's all de-lambed, like right there. Whatever. All right, not gonna fix it. Too gnarly. But let's take the wax off this one now. This is that foam block I was talking about, and it's tricky because I made it for my single fin. See, like, literally just glued together pieces of styrofoam, and then like I said, I got a screwdriver and made where the fin went. But what ended up working out well is it's like the right width to go around my twin fins on that other board, but I think it'll do it on this one too. So pretty much just slides in like that, kinda. Not quite, but you get the gist of it. It kind of just like, I tried. It slides in between the fins and it just basically holds the fins in the air. But, oh, this thing's extra milky. When you guys relax your boards, do you leave them in the sun like this? Check this out. It's like soup. So, I know there's a lot of times where I talk about not saying where I'm surfing or why I'm surfing there, or, you know, giving away locations to places. And it's not because I want to gatekeep stuff and, you know, do it like that. That's not the point of it. It's more that you're going to find out about it eventually, almost guaranteed, right? You'll know by context clues, other videos, or maybe you see a clip or a friend sends it to you or whatever. You'll end up figuring it out eventually, but that's the whole point of surf exploration, right? Like, that's what, you know, Jerry Lopez and Roy Russell and, like, you know, Buttons and all these different guys back in the day, they did that on a much more extreme level. Whereas now, you can go online and Google search waves in Southern California and probably find almost every single wave in Southern California online. Now, that's why I like to leave it out. Because if you know places, or you see from other videos at similar spots, the wave breaks in a similar way, and it's just missing that one rock or something like that, then you're like, oh my gosh, no way, those clips are at whatever it is. Like I've done that at Dane Reynolds has some old marine layer footage where he's surfing, I think it was Mexico or something, I forget these days, but I think he was surfing down in Mexico, and it was like this firing little wedge with these like trippy little rocks in the background, like a jetty wall. And I was always trying to figure out where it was, and I couldn't figure it out till recently. And he went back, and I realized where it is. And once again, I'm not going to tell you exactly where it is, because you got to figure it out for yourself, because that's all the fun in surfing. Now, I think another thing I really wanted to talk about with you guys too is when you guys go on trips to go surf, like let's say, it's a good example. Let's say I'm going to Indonesia, right? Midsummer, and it's going to be pumping almost guaranteed the whole time. I see the swell, I'm packing my bag, and it's like, you know, something like 8 feet at 16, 20 seconds, just firing waves, right? What boards would you pack for that swell? 8 feet at 20 seconds, let's call it that. In Indonesia, and you've seen the footage, you know what it looks like, you know where you're going, and it's gonna be firing barrels. Tell me what boards you'd bring. 8 feet, 20 seconds, Indonesia, random numbers. I don't even know if swells do that there, but I'm assuming they would. I would probably bring, I have this good 6'7". That's like my trusty, like big firing wave board, like at like Pipe or Backdoor or something similar to that. And then I'd bring a 5'11", like standard round pin shorty. You can only bring 3 boards, that's the rule. But I'd bring those, and I'd bring a fish. Now, when I say a fish, I don't mean like a high performance twin fin thingy. I mean like the classic fish, like what I was just showing you guys a second ago. Like even more fishy than what I'm cleaning off here. Because like I was saying earlier, when I was surfing in Hawaii, the waves were firing, but like, it's so nice to just have a board that's so different than everything else in your quiver. Because there was days where the waves weren't as good as they could have possibly been, right? And it's kind of mushy, but there's a couple sneaky barrels, and there's no one out though, and you want to go surf, and you know, it's, you know, only a head high or something like that. You go get on the fish, and you're gonna have the best freaking day ever. but you try to ride a shortboard out there in that, you're gonna be kind of bummed. So I think it's always important to bring something grovelly at least, if not like a fish. Now, the other tricky thing is I don't like fishes that have fin boxes. I only really like glassed in fishes. They just seem to work better because, like, have you ever seen on those keels? Like True Aims does it, everybody does it. But on the keel fins, the only way they'll fit in that Futures box is if they put that little notch. There's like a little notch in the back end of the fin. But I feel like that like hinders the performance of the fin or something. It doesn't have as much drive. It just doesn't quite feel the same. But that's just me. Maybe that's just me being picky, honestly. Then it just makes it really hard to travel. Like trying to fit glass in fins in a board bag with all these other boards in it. It's kind of gnarly. So tell me what you guys would bring. Drop something in the comments too of what you'd want to see the Shroud on for next week, because this week's gonna be kind of firing and I wanna get some surf content. And like I said, I've been loving that fish, so I think I'm gonna do a video on that fish. And one of the Groms here in Dana Point got a fish like that, the exact same board, just his size. And I think we might do like a little joint episode, talk about those little fishes, the one I was just cleaning off. Stay tuned for that. But let me know some other stuff, because it'd be sick to like film some cool stuff while there's actually swell, you know what I mean? Always got to clean off the bottom of your boards too. So I let them get pretty waxy. This is actually not even that bad, but I feel like every once in a while you gotta get the speed bumps off of there. So funny story about this board actually. So this was I think it was a Rising Sun by Timmy Patterson. Something happened to it. I think the machine cut the tail too thin or something weird happened to it. So he ended up taking the front half of the board and cutting the tail off of it. You know, reshaping the front half just a little, just so it's not so odd, like going together in such a small fashion. But then, you know, reshape the tail into what you see here. It's like a little 4-fin, 4-channel thing. And then I've been riding these Simon shapes fins from True Aims. They're super fun. I'd almost like a little more flex in them though. I think I might take a little sandpaper and sand them out on the outside edge a little bit so they get a little more flexy. Have you guys ever done that? Have you ever done that with your fins? Where you like sand it down a little bit, add a little more flex, get a little more pop. Because sometimes I really like to do that. And it just adds a little more life to the fin and like a little more spring almost. Well, that's how you de-wax a surfboard in a nutshell. But you guys already know that. Thanks everyone for tuning back in. Like I said, let me know what you guys want to see this week during this little swell event. I think there's a couple of hurricanes back to back. The water's already like 77 degrees or 75 degrees or something crazy. I surfed this morning in a full suit and it was just like roasting hot. I was tripping. But anyways, sorry, side note. Let me know what you want to see. I might go up to the wedge or do something sick like that. It'd be kind of fun. Go surf cylinders, something crazy. Go get sandy and weird with the boys. So drop it in the comments. Let me know what you want to see. And yeah, thanks everybody for tuning back in. Hopefully you guys like my little rant while I was cleaning boards. But, you know, I was thinking about you. So I want to get something out there and, you know, get the rhythm back going now that the wedding, now that I'm married and everything's dialed. Unlike, don't comment and unsubscribe. See you next week.